am I here to say that low ticket offers do not work? Absolutely not. I believe they do work. Hey, what's going on? It's Joel Irwin. Welcome to another very special episode of Sold with Webinars. Today, I want to talk to you about a project that I'm working on that is a little bit of a detour than what I normally talk about. Today, we're going to talk about low ticket funnels, low ticket offers. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time over the past 6 months, you know that I have an introductory program called the Power Offer Workshop, where we teach people how to get clients and get customers using simple 1 to 2 sentence power offers. Now, we have an incredible success with this program, teaching this program, and it has been an experiment of mine. Truthfully, I wanted to see what is all the hype about low ticket funnels. Let me take that back. Not that I want to see what all the hype is, but I want to dip my toe in the water again with another test of low ticket programs. I have experience with low ticket offers in the past and mostly bad experiences. Now, let me be fully transparent with you. I'm not here to say low ticket offers are bad. I am just saying that anytime that I've launched low ticket offers, that it has been not the most positive experience in my circumstance. We have done the 2 other low ticket offers that I remember launching in the past. One was for a summit offer that it was a pre-recording of a webinar summit that I hosted, and I sold that for a low amount. I want to say it was like 30 or 40 bucks. And then the other example that I have was in another niche for my engineering career development, where I was selling a $7 training with some upsells. Needless to say, neither of those were a resounding success. And in fact, when we were selling the webinar summit, I had a team of 3 or 4 people dedicated to making that funnel a success. And while we did sell a few hundred units of that program, it was at break even at best, if not a loss. And the whole idea behind low ticket offers is the ascension model, right? X number of people who buy your front end offer will ascend into higher back end offers. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, when we launched that low end funnel with the webinar summit, we sold zero back end offers. Does that mean, am I here to say that low ticket offers do not work? Absolutely not. I believe they do work. I just believe that they are much more difficult than what it seems like on the surface. So we spent nearly a year trying to get that webinar summit funnel to work. We had, and the main problem that we had was we just couldn't get enough traffic to it. Okay. Our angle, I think, was a little bit too niche. And so it wasn't really a mass market offer, which you have to really think about when you're doing low ticket offers, because if you're going super niche where your audience is already small, then you're going to be extremely limited on your potential for that as a revenue source. That was the issue that we ran into, that I saw that we were running into with the webinar offer. It was just too niche and didn't really allow us to scale, and our positioning was wrong, so it didn't really position us as a back-end offer, as anyone who wanted to purchase our back-end offer. So we spent, 8 to 12 months testing that with all sorts of, all different types of traffic and upsells and downsells and bump offers and the whole 9 yards, and finally I just killed it. Thankfully, we were break even after paying all my staff and my team members. But I put that on the shelf for about a year. Went back to my old tried and true, high ticket method, mini webinars and high ticket courses, and that's our bread and butter. I just find that's a much more reasonable model to make successful. You have much more margin for error. But as we started to scale high ticket courses as a brand, as we started to scale that, I got the idea for a new mini offer, a new low ticket offer to help us grow our brand. And now I took what I learned from my previous 2 failures, and I knew that I could make this one a better option. So I wanted to talk about that today and give you some insight as to how my test is going with the Power Offer Workshop. Now, if you're interested in the Power Offer Workshop, you can head to powerofferworkshop.com. It's just $37 for the training, and we have just had some phenomenal results of people who have gone through that training and have had great success. But let's talk about this test that we're running with this Power Offer Workshop. So the intention and the strategy behind the Power Offer Workshop was for this to be a lead-in to my high ticket courses program, whether that's my do-it-yourself program or my mentorship program. I really don't think that this is going to lead into too many done-for-you inquiries just because of the positioning and who we're targeting with this offer. I could be wrong. I'll talk about that in just a second of some interesting insights that I've seen. But from an initial standpoint, here's what we're looking at. So we have been running this funnel since July 15th, and today is September 10th as I'm recording this. So we've been running this for about 2 months, and it's done okay, right? We've generated about $16,000 in sales for a $37 offer, which is not bad. We have some additional upsells. We have some additional bump offers that is pushing that ticket price higher and that average order value higher and higher. But just on the front end standpoint, we have $16,000 in revenue collected on the front end of this $37 offer, right? Not bad at all. Here is what we are discovering is that I wanted this to very quickly lead into discovery calls and strategy sessions for my sales team to lead them into our high ticket courses program, right? The Power Offer Workshop is a subset. It's kind of that teaser into what we teach inside of high ticket courses, which is designing your offers and scaling your offers and generating marketing to get people into your funnel. So when I chose the idea for this tripwire product, this low ticket product, I wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat the same mistake that I made before, which was going too niche. So we took the angle of the Power Offer Workshop with the angle of get customers and get clients, right? That's almost as broad as you can get inside of my niche of experts, coaches, and consultants, right? I wanted to find something that the mass market inside of my audience wanted. I knew it was getting customers and getting clients. So that is exactly why we positioned this. It was so we can keep this as evergreen as possible, keep the lifespan as long as possible, and get as many people to raise their hand and purchase the program as possible to give us, the ability to scale our ad spend and get more sales opportunities. Now, we have had people, so the way that my funnel is set up is at the end of the funnel, they're going to get emails to either schedule a call, and then they're getting emails to sign up for my webinar training, which ultimately leads them into high ticket courses or to work with us at the mentorship program level. They could also find our funnel to go and do done for you, but I don't think that as of this time we've had any done for you inquiries. Everything has been on the education side, which makes sense. This is an education-based funnel. We're selling a course. So the modality of people here are most interested in buying a course. We have had, let me back up and saying, now that I'm thinking about it, I think we've had 2 serious done-for-you inquiries of people who have come through the Power Offer Workshop funnel. So it does happen, right? It does work. What I'm most interested in learning during this experiment are the percentages, right? What are the percentages of people who, when you get one of these funnels converting, and this is, mind you, we have been working on this for months now. I did a beta launch back in either May or June to our Facebook group, our Facebook community, and we had, I taught this program live, I taught the workshop live. Then I had my copywriter write out a funnel for it, write out a sales page, checkout page. I whipped out a couple of upsell videos. This is not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Then we have a lot of ads that have been going out and having to relaunch ads. We put in Hyros, and then Hyros didn't work, so we had to uninstall Hyros. It's been a lot of work to get this up and running. So let me be upfront and transparent with you. Okay, low ticket funnels are not for the faint of heart, and it's something that I do not recommend anybody do until you have cash flow coming in. Right, our perfect expert model: get cash flow coming in from your high ticket offers, then you can scale down to mid ticket and low ticket for productization. So, what I'm interested in learning is when you get the right angle, because that's the other thing too, is you can make the mistake that I made with my first two products, which is doing the wrong, picking the wrong front end product that is not scalable or doesn't even lead to any upsells, and it can be a complete and utter waste of time. So learning everything I learned, I chose the get customers, get clients angle because it's more mass market for the low ticket program, the low ticket product. What I'm most interested in learning about is how do the numbers shake out? How do the numbers play out for our entire funnel? And I'll share them with you right now, because I want to know, like, what can I expect for people to submit an inquiry? I actually don't have the inquiry numbers, but I have all my funnel numbers, which I'm sure you guys are very much interested in. I'd be happy to share that with you right now. But I want to see how all the numbers shake out for, how many people take the order bump, how many people take upsell 1, upsell 2, and how many people are, scheduling a strategy call, and ultimately how many people are converting into either high ticket courses or the mentorship program, which we don't have that data yet, but we have all the front end data. So let me go through this real quick with you because I think you'll find it interesting. So starting from Wednesday, July 15th, we had 5,998 people hit our sales page. Of those people, we've had 1,324 people go from the sales page to the checkout page. That's a 22% conversion. So 22% of the people who land on the sales page click the button to go to the checkout page. I'm pretty happy with that. 1 out of every 4 or 5 people are at least visiting the checkout page. I think that shows some pretty good intent. Of those 1,300 people that have gone to the checkout page, we have converted 310 of those into a Power Offer Workshop sale. So that's another 23% conversion rate of people who hit the checkout page to converting into a sale. That has generated that has generated $16,280. I think that's right. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's right. Anyway, if somebody wants to do the numbers on this, go for it. But it would generate 310 sales for $16,280. That's a $37 product, right? So if we're looking at the sales page conversion rate, so the percentage of people who hit the sales page, basically people who are clicking on the ad to ultimately checking out, it's a 5.1% sales conversion rate. Now on cold traffic to an ice cold offer, those are phenomenal numbers. I know those are really, really good numbers. And we've only had 7 refunds. 7 out of the 310 people have refunded. It's a very, very low refund rate. So the product actually fulfills what the promise is. That's good, right? Okay, so gross revenue, $16,280, 310 sales, and 7 refunds. Now, we have an order bump, right? So the order bump is that optional checkout that they can take when they're on the checkout page. And we have a $27 order bump, which is a case study that they can opt in to buy. So it's a case study of me walking through with one of my friends. His name is Dov Gordon, and we mapped out his power offer. We mapped out his high ticket offer in the span of 2 hours. It is well worth the $27 because we are going through from scratch how to map out and create a high ticket offer. And we have had a 38% take rate on that order form bump. So 120 sales from the 310 end up taking the order form bump. So that produces another $3,240 in revenue. So after that, I introduced, for a long time, I only had 1 upsell. And I don't know exactly when I implemented the second upsell. It was sometime in August. But so you'll see what these numbers look like in just a second. But the first upsell that I have is for $297. And I screwed up the tracking on this, and I didn't get the tracking in place until Monday, August 17th. So I've made more than 8 sales, which is what these numbers are showing. But it is what it is. I screwed up the tracking, so it was only tracking so I missed an entire month of tracking. But the conversion rate since August 17th has been a 7.62% take rate on the upsell one, which is $297. So that since August 17th, that has produced $2,079. We had 8 sales from 105 potential buyers up to that point. So 7.6% of people who purchased the Power Offer Workshop took upsell one, which is really good. Like a for a $297 upsell on OTO one, that's a really good take rate. So we made an extra $2,079 from that, and I've had 0 refunds on that. OTO2 I implemented starting just very recently, August 19th. Okay, so around the same time when I fixed the tracking on OTO1, I implemented OTO2. Now this one has had a fantastic take rate. So OTO2 is Chat Sales Blueprint, which I teach people how I closed a $7,500 deal from cold traffic over Facebook Messenger, over ManyChat. And so I walk through the entire conversation, I break it down, and it's clearly a hot button offer that people are interested in right now. We have, since August 17th or 19th, whenever I launched this, August 19th, we have had 89 people see this offer. 13 people took it for $97, generating an extra $1,261 in revenue, and we've had 0 refunds. So pretty stoked about that, because a 14.6% take rate on OTO2 is really, really good. Now we're doing something really interesting with this that I learned from, I can't remember exactly who I learned it from, but in terms of positioning, I know who I learned it from. I learned it from Tim Larkin when I spoke at Brian Kurtz's mastermind. So Tim Larkin talked about how when he heard my top-down selling approach with the perfect expert method, right? Why we start with the top tier offer and then we downsell. He told me that, Joel, we implemented this in our gun business in Las Vegas. And overnight we doubled our sales. Before, what we were doing was when customers would come to the counter and they would want to buy, a gun package, we would start with the lowest tier offer and we'd try to upsell them. Well, one night he had this epiphany. He said, why don't I try the exact opposite? When they come to the counter, I offer them our top level package and then we downsell them. And he said it doubled our sales overnight. So I figured, why don't I try that with my upsell sequence? So I'm going to put my higher end upsell first, so they see $297 first, and then the second one is going to be my lower end offer. So most people actually they go up the ladder. So they start with their lower end offer first, then they go up to their higher end offer. I'm doing the exact opposite. I think that's one of the reasons why my conversion rate on OTO2 is so high at 14.6%. So anyway, 13 sales out of 89 visitors. We have 14.6% conversion rate. Throws an extra, $1,261 into our pockets. So, overall, we're, since July 15th, we made about $20,000 on this funnel, and I haven't tied in the back end revenues. We have sold some copies of high ticket courses. We have had people enroll into the mentorship program, and we do have two serious inquiries for the done for you. So this is clearly working. We initially, when we launched this funnel, I tried a thank you page video to get people to book a call with our team, and that fell completely flat. We had no one booking calls with us when I had the thank you page video. What I have since done that has worked to generate calls was I ended up just putting a survey on the thank you page to gather customer data, saying, hey, thanks for purchasing the program. Here's a customer success survey, which I've used on many of my funnels, but I've never used it to actually book a call. So I used the same survey that I put at the end of the funnel. And at the end of that survey, I just say, hey, would you like a free 20-minute session to discover how to implement your power offer that you just purchased? And we're getting a really high uptake on that. I want to say it's probably 40 to 50% of the people who are purchasing, maybe 30 to 40 of the percent of the people who are purchasing are filling out the survey and saying yes to that call and booking a call. So still too early to tell on how well that is going to work, because it's positioned as a kind of a free review, not a free review because we're not reviewing their power offer, but we're just teaching them. We want to show them the path for how to implement that and how to scale it to the levels that we show them inside of high ticket courses. So that's going to be our bridge to introduce them to high ticket courses. So this was a special episode today. I wanted to be transparent with you. I wanted to kind of give you the numbers. I wanted to kind of give you the inside look as to what's going on with our Tripwire offer. We are still trying to scale this. Scaling is not easy, as you know, with any sort of paid advertising. We've got my team working on that, and they're working very hard. But I wanted to give my loyal listeners an inside peek, real numbers of one of our funnels in our business, so you can see kind of what's going on. And the verdict's still out on it. I think that this has life. I really do. I'm worried about the positioning of the power offer leading into high ticket courses. I think I can do a good job of connecting the dots to make sure that it adequately aligns with the next step, which is going into high ticket courses, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that is that's what I've got for you today. A little bit longer of an episode, but I wanted to share with you these results. And I want to share with you these numbers. So if you enjoyed this episode, I would greatly appreciate you either sharing this with somebody else in your network, in your industry, who might find this valuable. I would also love for you to drop me a note over at joel@thewebinaragency.com. Let me know what you think. I love getting feedback from my loyal listeners and from my audience. And if you are so inclined, go over and wherever you listen to this podcast, give us an honest rating, right? I don't want to solicit only 5-star ratings, but if you think it's a 5-star podcast, give us a 5-star rating and let us know exactly what you think. So until next time, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.